You've tuned into Yachting International Radio. I am your host, Ria, and this is a special edition of, well, I guess coffee and conversation it is. We have been joined from China live by our guest, Sarah Zhang. Did I say that right, Zhang?
Zhang, yeah, you got it right.
Sorry, I don't have the accent. I wanted to introduce you. You are the host of a new luxury lifestyle program out of China called Yacht Life, Love the Ocean. The process behind this is introducing luxury yachting culture and ocean preservation to China. And that's really exciting. Tell me a little bit about the program.
Okay. Well, first of all, thank you, Ria, for the invitation. I'm very happy to be here. And right now I'm in Shanghai in the afternoon. So this is my first time to do the live interview, so it's a little unusual. So usually we do, a video we record and we edit. So anyway, but it's this experience face-to-face too. It's very interesting and exciting, also new to me. And yes, so myself, I'm a lifestyle, we call KOL, key opinion leader, or lifestyle influencer, whatever you call, and also I'm a producer, host of lifestyle shows, and also a digital marketing expert. And I'm from China, and I lived in USA for many years. In New York, I met my husband and business partner, Rick Diani. So we moved from New York to China, to Shanghai about actually over 10 years ago. So since we moved to China, to Shanghai, we've been producing lifestyle shows. And many of our shows are about one education, one appreciation, one food, cooking, and then so we've been doing this for years in China. And the new show you just mentioned, the Yacht Life, Love the Ocean, is our very, very new project. We just finished shooting a few weeks ago in Phuket Island in Thailand. And this show is very, very new because it's such a exciting experience for me personally. I mean, of course, it's for us, our company, House Films, me and my husband, who are the owner, and he's the executive producer. And it's so new in many, many ways. First, yachting culture is very new in China. I would call this the first lifestyle show about yachting culture in China. So we are very excited about. We are the ones who's doing it the first time, and the yachting is very, very new in China. And I mean, for Westerners, Western viewers, it's nothing, yachting is lifestyle in Europe, in some parts of USA and Caribbean. But in China, it's not something people think of. We don't have that culture. China, you may know the history, and before, people, we don't have that many wealthy people. We don't have the yachting and the knife. And but recently, as you know, the China has been developing so quickly, and a lot of people, I would say, well-to-do, more and more wealthy people. So. And now I think it's the right time to tap into yachting culture, and it's the right time for us. We're producers, as we say, we produce lifestyle shows, and I think this is the right time for us to produce a show about yachting. And I may stress something. We've done so many times of the first ones. I may go back 1 minute to go back to our history. We did the first the Chinese reality shows in USA. It's a travel reality show called Quest USA. It's in Chinese, but we produced in USA. And then we produced the first international reality show in China, which is Quest China 大挑战. This is the poster behind me. And then we produced the first gym show, fitness show in China, and that was online. And then we produced the first one lifestyle show in China, which really, really getting so popular and in China among the wine lovers, wine drinkers. And then we have done many the first time. So this is another first time for us, the first yachting culture show, lifestyle show in China. So this is many the first ones, and in that way, I think we I think we love to, I wouldn't say love. Sometimes we like to take risks, being the pioneers, to do things people haven't started, or people haven't been thinking about it. But for us, we think it's worth, and it's also very exciting, and also a very exciting adventure for us. And,
well, I mean, the one thing that I was going to mention is that, in China right now, they've got a population of 1,435,000,000 and rising, of course, by the minute. It's ranked number 3 for the world's ultra high net worth individuals. There are 4.4 million millionaires and over 300 billionaires. As of October 2019, there are more wealthy Chinese overall than Americans for the first time in history.
Wow.
So when you're talking about that type of wealth, you generally start thinking about, Michelin star restaurants, you start thinking about jets and yachts. That is something that I guess us in Europe and in North America, we automatically make those leaps. This is how the ultra wealthy spend their money. Now, China as a whole has never really had an interest in yachting, and I never understood why. And it doesn't matter how much research you do on Google or the internet, there is no real explanation. Can you explain to us why yachting hasn't been as popular in the past as it has been in other countries?
Okay, so this is a very good question. I think there are a few reasons, different reasons. First is the culture, and we don't have that. And our parents, our grandparents, we didn't grow up in that environment where your family own a yacht, right? Not like in other cultures in Europe, Mediterranean, France, Italy, Monaco. So we don't have that background, not in our culture. So that's why we don't think about it. And then another reason is that, of course, the infrastructure, as even China has developed so quickly, and then if you travel to Shanghai, Beijing, you saw so many 5-star hotels, many infrastructure, high-speed trains, amazing. And then but we just hasn't started really built on yachting. This is not to do, of course, with the local government, and also the whole thing to do with the whole industry just didn't come up. And this is I think when people are getting rich, So in talking about in Chinese in China, so people thinking about. First is maybe for example they buy a car, they buy a house, they buy real estate outside China, they travel, and just or maybe they send the kids to overseas school. A lot of investment is put in kids' education. This is a very traditional Chinese way of thinking. And then travel actually is a big part of people's lifestyle. So because yachting hasn't been in our mind, and then on a general sense, on general media or lifestyle media, government hasn't been really pushed it as a way, as a lifestyle, as entertainment, as pleasure. So it's not some people really naturally think about. And another reason is for rich people, for people well-to-do, and our entertainment mainly is eat. You may say, when people like to eat, you everybody think of do some entertainment, meeting friends, get together, family or whatever holiday, a lot of eating. So we like to sit down at a fancy restaurant, big table, we drink, we eat. And so I guess the one reason we're not that physical yet, so there are people start to do this diving, scuba diving, this kind of thing, but still very minority group of people. So I think it has something to do with the whole country, industry or media, not that much push for yachting or yachting culture, yachting lifestyle. So that's why we think it's the right time. I mean, people. Young Chinese people like to try new things, right? And they see something new. Oh, I want to try that. They see something new. I want to try that. So if we create desire for yachting, for yacht charter or the things, we think there will be more and more people interested. So we want to be that pioneers. as you know, China changing very, very fast. Every day something new, every day something new. And then just giving you an example, like coffee drinking, coffee drinking since last year, it's so popular. It's huge. It's like now in Shanghai, besides Starbucks, the biggest Starbucks in the world by our office here on Nanjing Xilu, and you got all this. Besides the chain coffee shop, also has the boutique coffee shops everywhere. So I would say the coffee culture is very, very popular in China, but which wasn't popular about 5 years ago. So I think yachting has a great potential, as you mentioned, all these billionaires, and then they start to buy yacht or start to yacht charter, or they travel to either do it in China. We have a few cities very, very well suited. For example, in Hainan Island, Hainan, Sanya, Qingdao, Zhuhai, a few other cities, coastal cities. So they are very good for yachting. I think government, if we started to cultivate, build this industry in these major cities, I think yachting will become more and more popular and great potential, definitely. Yeah.
Well, that was one of the questions I was going to ask. I mean, the climate, there's a beautiful coastline, and it's mostly temperate, sort of tropical areas in the south, of course. So there is a great area where there is yachting possible, but is there the infrastructure available in China at the moment? For example, marinas or boat yards in case of refits, that kind of thing.
This is a very good question. I think they are starting building, but not up there yet. I was just reading an article from last year and talking about Hainan Island. The government trying to build yachting village. So they want to build a multiple yachting village to build the yachting industry, which is also good for the local economy, right? So once you have yachting village, you got have tourists start to come. You need to build hotel. You need to hire local people, and you need to train people about yachting, maintenance and service, everything. So it looks like they're already thinking about this, but of course it's going to take a little bit of time. And then once you have that, set up, people will start to go there. They'll say, oh, well, we are going to a yachts in Hainan, in Sanya, and then they start post the pictures on the social media, and then, their friends want to go, their friends want to go, the family, all this stuff. So that's how a lifestyle start to spread in China. So I think I really think the government is starting to realize this is you make yachting culture, yachting become a luxury lifestyle, to attract this group of well-to-do or wealthy people. I think they are doing right now, starting as we speak. Yeah, it just hasn't become popular yet. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you have over 1.5 million social media followers yourself. So, I mean, the likelihood that once you start talking about it, this show airs, because it's going to be airing in the middle of November, correct?
Right. Yeah, we are editing a final stage of editing for the very first episode. So we are in mid-November should be out. Yeah, the final stage is still doing some editing, adding subtitles.
Are you going to be putting it with subtitles in English so we can, the rest of us over here can understand?
Yeah, that's why, of course. Yeah, that's why we want to do both English and Chinese subtitle, which takes some time. Yeah, it's time consuming, but definitely English and Chinese subtitles.
That's really exciting because this, it's interesting. We sort of follow the yachting culture in the Mediterranean during the summertime. I mean, our within the Mediterranean, it starts usually April, May, we start seeing it getting really busy. And then right about this time of the year, we see all the boats heading over to the Caribbean, Fort Lauderdale, et cetera. We don't really know a lot about China, for example, and the yachting industry there. So I think with this program, the ability for you to show the rest of the world what is going on and how quickly it moves, there's so many exciting things that can happen because, of course, we're talking crew that has to be trained. I mean, that doesn't happen overnight as well. And there's going to be all sorts of industries that pop up in China as a result of a drive towards creating an industry in yachting.
Yeah, that's absolutely. Yeah, and there are yachting culture here. We've approached some companies, and then a lot of them foreign brands talking about yachts. And then I think the issue here for these yacht brands is they don't really they don't really position yachting as a lifestyle. They make it too business. All they want is buy our yachts, right? They go to those trade shows and then another fancy yachts there, and then so their goal is to spend your money, buy our yachts, right? But for people, even the rich people, wealthy, they can afford. They don't know what to do with it. They don't know what to do. They don't know. So I think we have to start with in media or our social media, whatever. It's a lifestyle. When you have a yacht, this is what you can do. Bring your family to somewhere, and then you can enjoy drink some light, easy food. You can invite your friends here, and then have a good time, and so they don't really educate the market, what to do. Another consumer don't understand what can I do there. It's like they don't understand. And then what's so funny is that some of the yacht owners, they bought it to brag about it for the status, and then they play mahjong in it at a dock, just on the yacht, but the yacht is not in the ocean. There's no captain, no nothing. They just invite their friends to play mahjong, play cards on the yacht. All they want to do is show off that they have a yacht, but they don't know how to do. They don't know what to do with it. So that's the issue. So now the yacht brands, which are there in China market already, they treat it as an industry. Industry, like this is a piece of equipment. It's like a car, right? So they stress too much on the yacht itself, but not making the connection to a consumer. It's like your life might be different when you have a yacht. Your life, you can take the yacht out. It's adventure. It's in the ocean, so romantic, and it's so beautiful. The ocean, blue sky, and have a wonderful time with your friends, your family, your wife, whatever. You can have a party there. So this is my personal experience of this shooting in Thailand. It's my very first time to shoot on a yacht. Before, I was a little nervous because I can't swim, and also I'm afraid car sick. And I'm like, oh, what if something happened to the yacht? But once I get on the yacht, we are, the captain, drove out. In the ocean, beautiful Phuket Island. Oh my God, I feel so good. The breeze, and then feel sense of freedom. A sense of, it's exhilarating, the experience. And then we are shooting. I have my guests. We talk about issues, and the whole experience is just fascinating. So I think the yachting industry want to do the same thing to the Chinese consumers. Come to experience. Have a party or do a yacht charter and to experience. And then it's totally different from your experience in the land, right? You can go to a restaurant, eat and drink. You can go to karaoke, to sing songs with your friend. But this is something different. So I think that's the issue here. They don't really care about the consumer. They don't understand why people don't buy their yachts, because they don't know what to do with it. And then even if they buy it, they still don't know what to do with it. So they don't really spend time, energy, the investment to educate. And I shouldn't use educate, right. To spread
Inform.
the lifestyle. The lifestyle aspect of it, it's what can a yacht do to your life, so they don't look at the yachting from the angle of the consumer. Only look at it's a business, it's a yacht, it's luxury product. We need to sell. So that's really the issue of the of the industry here. Another problem.
Well, one of the things that I wanted to talk to you about as well was that, it's yacht life, yes, but you also speak about loving the ocean, and the whole concept is introducing luxury yachting culture and ocean preservation to China. Now, what steps are you taking to, introduce ocean preservation to China? What is your goal with this?
Okay, so while we're thinking about this show, we also automatically thinking of another issue, the environmental, and the ocean preservation. Although yachting is not popular in China yet, but many people love to go to the beach, including me. I can't swim, but I like places near water, beach, ocean, or port, or, marina, whatever, or river. So many people love to go to the beach. But sometimes a crowded beach, again, like popular beach in China, like Qingdao or Sanya, and in the summer, so many people, so crowded, and then after the people left, it's very dirty, so all the garbage left on the beach, plastic bottle or whatever, food, drink, it's very dirty. So we feel we need to raise the awareness of, clean beach, for example, or protect the ocean, and don't throw things just into the water or on the beach, and also environment protection on a general sense. So I think this is very close to the consumer. It's very close to their life.
Yeah.
And so this is a natural connection between the show and this issue. So we in the show we worked with organization in Thailand based in Phuket called Oceans for All organization, and then the co-founder, he's David Martin. He's one of the guests in the show, and I talked with him about issue like this, and he gave me a lot of interesting points about ocean preservation. We had this conversation somewhere far in the on the ocean near a beautiful island, so it's really beautiful on the yacht, on a luxury yacht, and then talking about these issues, and it's very nice. So we think this issue is very important for the Chinese consumers, and of course, in China actually is doing a good job on this environmental issues. This issue may not be linking to yachting, but like now in Shanghai, we're doing garbage classification. It's like recycle, not recycle, wet garbage, dry garbage, and dangerous garbage. So it's really good. It's a great thing government is doing.
Well, I think it's very important. I mean, when we're talking about the luxury market, generally it's those that live a luxury lifestyle that tends to make the trends for the rest of the population. And so if something as big as yachting throughout the world, I mean, we see in Europe and North America as well, there's a huge drive in the yachting industry to protect our oceans and to do beach cleans, that kind of thing. So the fact that now that China's yachting industry is slowly starting to take off and you are taking this on at the very beginning, I think that is very commendable, and thank you very much for that, because it does affect us in the whole world. Every little bit of pollution or garbage that we put into the environment, it affects every single one of us, no matter where we live in the world. So that's really important. I wanted to ask as well, I mean, sailing has been a big thing in China. It's gotten bigger. I mean, there's the Clipper 2019-20 race, which is underway at the moment. This year, for the first time in the 23-year history of this race, there were 3 Chinese teams. So is sailing something that is part of the culture? I mean, not yachting, but just sailing, learning how to sail?
And I think sailing are very similar to yachting. It's not part of the culture either. Okay. But the sailing probably more kind of belongs to the sports aspect. It's right. Like a sporting sports, kind of like water sports. And then that's why maybe it's a little bit more, what's the word? I wouldn't say popular, but people understand it's a sports, right? So yeah. We have water sports. I think people understand what it is, and sailing. But I think generally sailing is still not a very popular entertainment or lifestyle in China yet. I think it's more kind of on the sports, water sports aspect of it. Similar to yachting, yeah. So I heard actually government is trying to, certain local government is trying to, build this water sports, water entertainment, at their locals, of course, the coastal cities. I think it's similar to yachting. Because you are in the industry, you heard about it, but actually sailing is not something I would say common in a popular sports or popular thing in China yet.
Well, we were speaking about the industry within China. Now the government's actually starting to look at building marinas and infrastructure. And you did mention prior that some Chinese purchase yachts and do yachting outside of China. What is the ability of outsiders to go yachting, for example, in China, or to purchase a yacht in China and to keep their yacht there?
Well, this one I can't give an accurate or more answer, but I think again, the industry is not really it's developing, so I think it's in the process of developing, but it's not mature yet. And I see more and more yachts, private yachts in Shanghai. We go to the Bund. There's some yachting docked there, and actually some of them is for rental. For example, you can rent an hour. For example, you can rent maybe the whole evening for you to host a private party on the yacht. And also the yacht, they can like offer cruise, an hour cruise, on the Huangpu River. So these are all people's private yachts. They work with a company who do the rental part. And then there's some consumers, either you go to a yachting party, on the yacht, or you go on this cruise, So I think more and more, and then people will offer their private yachts for this business. But again, this China itself has to really build more or better infrastructure for the yacht owners, or the people who want to put their yacht in China. And I think right now they're not there yet. I mean, the industry. But you never know, as everything happened in China so quickly, they could develop very, very fast. Yeah.
So we were talking about the fact that Yacht Life, Love the Ocean, which is the name of the show, is premiering in the middle of November. Now, how many episodes have you filmed so far?
Oh, in Thailand, this time we filmed three episodes.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Can you tell us where in Thailand and a little bit about these episodes without giving it all away?
Sure, of course. Yeah. So this time we have a location partner, which is the Royal Phuket Marina in Phuket Island. And then we shot the whole 3 episodes at their place, Marina, and also they offered us their very nice 70-feet luxury yacht, and they provide us the captain and take us out. So the 3 episodes, the first episode, my guest is a fashionista, a very beautiful girl, and from Thailand, Maya. So me and her, we just drinking coconut water, and have some night food, and drinking some water. Actually, we have a water here sponsor. I don't know if I should show. Deep water. It's mineral water from deep ocean. And then so me and her, we're just chatting about Thai fashion, and then it's very relaxing episode. The first episode, just the 2 girls, and then we put on dresses. We have some dress clothing and accessory sponsors. So we're taking photos. I'm talking about on the yacht and out on the ocean in the beautiful island somewhere of Phuket Island. So and it's just fun and beautiful day. It's beautiful weather, and I had a wonderful time, and she looks beautiful, I look good, so taking photos to each other. That's what I'm talking about, and we have a marvelous time, and a lot of beautiful photos. That's the first episode. And the second episode I mentioned is I have a conversation with David Martin, co-founder of Oceans for All. It's an organization for ocean preservation. So we talk about issues, and the issues, ocean preservation. And he teach me a lot of things about ocean preservation. I wasn't even aware, about sharks, about not feed the fish in the ocean. And because for Chinese consumer, we feel to feed the fish, right? Because the fish is hungry, let's feed the fish, so it doesn't go hungry. But he said, no, don't do that. It's going to break the balance of the ecosystem. So now the things I picked up and learned, so it's very good. And then the third episode, I also had an interview with Gunu Navali, and who is the creator of the Royal Phuket Marina, and he's the legendary yachting entrepreneur. He's also the chairman of Royal Phuket Marina. Very very nice gentleman, and he got a great visions for this place, which is where our shooting location, and his place not just the marina, and had a villa, luxury apartment, and some very cool stuff like the private. Now we have garage, right? Usually people have garage at their place, but he has garage for yachts. So it's like a water garage. You can park your yacht below your apartment. Below your luxury apartment. This whole place is very very. It's very luxury. It's very interesting and very nice. So. And our shooting this time at Royal Phuket Marina, we got amazing support from them. Just amazing support, the crew, the whole team, and we had a fantastic, amazing experience shooting on the show this time. We feel very grateful. We got great support from our partners and our sponsors, and looking forward to seeing the show online. just some hard work. I'm sorry, what?
Is Thailand, does it have quite a yachting culture? Like obviously more so than China.
More, yeah. Actually, yes. And then the ocean, the island, Phuket is so beautiful. And the captain only took us about half an hour out of the marina, and you see very natural, just very natural, and nobody is there. Blue sky, blue ocean, very clean water, and just natural scenery. Natural beauty. It's just incredible. Another thing is that many Chinese tourists go to Thailand travel these days, right? Especially for holidays, the Spring Festival coming up, and then October, National Day holiday, and so many people go to Thailand, but not so many people go yachting. So we feel there's a great potential there for yachting and charters, yacht charters, yeah. So it's really beautiful. Hopefully, in future, next time we can shoot the show in Europe.
Yeah, that was the next question I was going to ask you. Now you've done Thailand. Are you going to come to, for example, Palma de Mallorca and to Monaco and to the French Riviera and maybe to the Caribbean and to Fort Lauderdale? Is that sort of your plans to travel and film around the world?
Yeah, which is our plan. Yes, so we started Thailand because they gave us great support. We approached them, Royal Phuket Marina, said, "Oh, great! It's a great idea. Welcome. Why don't you just come? Why don't you come?" That's how it just started, right? Because originally we were thinking about Europe because, of course, when you think of yacht culture, think of the Mediterranean, right? Yeah. Anyway, so and then we got a great support, and then the Thailand Royal Phuket Marina, they just say yes to us. So we said, wow, this is wonderful. So we started from Thailand. We would like to explore, go to the other, of course, more popular yachting culture destination, as you mentioned, Europe and North America, Caribbean, of course, Southeast Asia too. So yeah, that's our plan. I would say our next step.
So you've had 3 shows now, and I guess those will air, and I can imagine that once you see what kind of reaction you get from that will depend on the planning for the future.
Yes, yeah. Actually, I just posted some photo of our shooting on my social media. Already, many people saying, "Oh, so cool!" Where it is. So that now they get them think about yachting, charter, travel. So this is a good thing, as lifestyle KOL. So they start to follow the trend, and hopefully we'll have some impact.
Well, I imagine that in China, because there's such a large population, that it is quite densely populated. So the idea that they can get out to where they aren't surrounded by people, they aren't surrounded by stuff, buildings, etc. It's like being out in nature and alone. I would imagine that'd be quite attractive to those that could afford it.
Yes. Actually, nowadays more and more, upper class or consumer or well-to-do consumer, they're looking for new ways of travel, right? Because they like new things. They like to explore new things. So they've done, before. They like to a few years ago. They like to go to Japan, South Korea, and some other city to go shopping, to Europe to shop, to go shopping. So now that trend is kind of over. So they're looking for new destinations for experience. So for new experience, they've done that, and then, so I think this yachting or yacht charter would be very, very new and exciting for them. So all we do as a lifestyle producer, host, all we do is we use our shows to create desire. Whatever we do, we want to look like, oh, so much fun, oh, so nice. When we did our wine show, our cooking show, they'll say, oh, that dish looks, oh, marvelous. Oh, where can I buy the cheese? So that wine looks pretty, good. Sarah, where can I buy the wine? So what we do is we use shows, lifestyle shows, to quick desire, make it look wonderful. Some of my fans told me, oh, Sarah, watching your show make me feel life is wonderful or life is beautiful. So that's what we're trying to do. Keep doing with our shows. So make yachting or charter or cruise out on the ocean with your friends, family on a beautiful yacht. You feel life is wonderful. Life is beautiful. Especially nowadays, people are very stressed out in China. Especially in big city, and so much stress, so much. It's not a competition. In Shanghai, especially a big city, fast paced. People are stressed, so they are looking ways to get out of your daily life, and then to try to relax. Try to, as we say, like empty your body. 放空, we say empty your body, empty your mind. So people definitely are looking for new ways to say escape. Escape.
Well, you know what? I mean, I think there's a change going straight across the world. Anyways, I mean, the yachting industry as a whole, in countries where it has been popular for years and is growing in popularity, what's happening now is there's been a shift from these massive super yachts. I mean, they are still getting bigger, of course. That's never going to end. Everyone's going to have a bigger and bigger yacht. But they're looking towards more expedition yachts. So they are going to places like the Arctic, and they're taking submarines. And the ultra high net worth individual now is between the ages of 40 and 50. So they're much more active. They don't have as much time as the yachties of the past. They've got 2 weeks. They want to cram in everything. So it's very much the same as what you're speaking about with the Chinese consumer, is that they are changing trends and they're looking for something new. They're looking for something more exciting. And it's about a trend, and it's changing the industry as a whole. So that's something that, I can imagine that you as a lifestyle show would be interested in, is that type, the expedition yachting as well, because it's new experiences, it's places where people have never gone before.
I think that type of yachting you just mentioned, I think maybe a next step. Yeah, I think first step, just to get people to the yacht, just enjoy eating and drinking with your friend. And then more adventures, maybe next step. Because right now we want them get onto the yacht, have a party, and have a wine, a glass of champagne, have a little party and enjoy, take your family there. And next step, I think definitely will be the one you mentioned, more adventure. More physical, more adventures. Yeah, I forgot there's an issue for Chinese, especially Chinese women, and they don't like suntan, right? They don't like to get too much sun, and also some of them have car sick, seasick. So some of them, most people swim, and some people don't swim, so they have these issues to worry about. So first we want them to overcome their fear, to welcome yacht, to enjoy being on a yacht. And then next, once as I always say this on my social media posting, you have to get out of your comfort zone, right? Once you get out of your comfort zone, you try this new thing, new experience, and you love it. You feel there's nothing to be to be fair, nothing to be worried about. And then so first of all, you have to overcome that, and then make them and try this to experience. They'll love it. This is my personal experience on the yacht. So I want to tell them my personal experience. I really had a wonderful time, shooting the show, being on a yacht, and it's amazing. So
you were a bit nervous, weren't you?
A little bit, yeah. And like I don't really, as I told you, we don't really have the culture. I don't really go to yacht often, so it's very first time. I've stepped on yacht once before, and then this is my first time to shoot a show. When you shoot a show, you have a lot of issues. You got the crew, you got camera, you got lighting. It's like if the yacht is big enough, how about the yacht, the lighting, the equipment, the crew that is there, everybody. So a lot of issues to think about, and then but everything is so smooth. So smooth. It's a super successful shooting. So it's very amazing. Of course, my personal experience just to be on the yacht and having a good time, good conversation with my guests. It's fascinating and fantastic experience.
Well, we're actually going to be blessed because I think your partner Rick is going to be, and Rick is the owner of House Media, correct?
House Films, yeah.
House Films, yeah. But he is going to be putting us in touch with some of your guests or your hosts as well. And he is also going to be interviewed on Yachting International Radio, I do believe, on Friday by Rebecca Whitlock.
Yes, yeah.
So we're looking forward to getting his sort of view on things as well, because it's quite interesting. You can interview 5 people on the exact same subject, and you're going to get a completely different answer every single time.
Definitely, yeah. Because I'm Chinese. Rick, he's also my husband, business partner. He's American, so this is actually his idea. His idea, because he, in USA, Florida, and lot of yachting. I lived in New York many years, but personally, I'm not familiar with yachting Chinese, the typical Chinese mentality. So for him, he's more familiar to him, of course. And then he started this project. In the very beginning, I'm like, what? Yacht? No, nobody cares here. We're talking about in China, right? You show about yachting. So in the beginning, I wasn't sure. I would say I wasn't supporting him that much, but he keeps on working, very persistent, and I have to say I'm very impressed by his persistence, and now I feel like, oh, this is a great idea. In the middle, I did doubt him. I said, oh, nobody cares, but now this whole experience of producing the show is also amazing experience for me to believe something, from doubting, and then later believe it, and then come around, and then it's like, wow, this is a great idea. And also shooting the show, I had such an amazing experience, almost kind of in a way, life-changing experience, which means first I'm a little nervous, had a little fear, and then I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it so much. Yeah, it's just a total, very, very, I would say, fantastic experience shooting the show.
So the next step is that...
Sorry, you can ask him the other questions so he can tell you more from his side.
Well, I can imagine the next step, Rick is going to be saying, why did I introduce her to yachting? Because she's going to be wanting to charter a yacht every weekend.
Possible.
He'll be kicking himself, I'm sure.
Right. So now I'm into yachting now. I flip the magazines. Before it's just yacht is whatever. So now I flip the magazines. So that's why I go back to the point I want to stress is you have to make it a lifestyle. You have to make it a lifestyle. And now I feel so much fun to be on a yacht. Oh, this is wonderful. Let me see this the other yachts. Let me see the charter. Let me see. So you have to make your product linking to the consumer. If you don't do the linking, they don't understand. They say, why do I buy a yacht? Why do I go to a yacht? That's the issue with many brands. in China, especially the luxury brands, like one, Samsung, I don't want to get into another subject, but for brands, a product, you have to think, what can your brand bring to the consumer? Why do they need to buy your product? Why do they need to buy your yacht? Why do they need to go to your charter? So what do you bring to the life? What value do you add to the life? This is what they have to think about, not just every day buy my product, buy my product.
Yeah. No, that's a very valid point. One last question I wanted to ask you before I let you go, because I know you're a busy lady. I wanted to ask about eco-friendly products in China. Have you noticed, because I don't really know, we find here, and I spent a year in Canada, and now I'm back in Mallorca, and more on the shelves of the supermarkets and shops, and we even have shops that are popping up that are solely for eco-friendly products. Is that the same in China? Are people looking more towards, as far as purchasing more eco-friendly for, better for the environment, better for the ocean?
This one is okay. This is maybe a little difficult to answer. I think maybe in big city, and we see more product like that, eco-friendly product, and only first tier city. In other cities, we don't really see that much. And I think again, you need to educate the consumer. Why do I need to buy this product, not that product? Right? For them, it's still if I spend 50 kwai, it's the value, right? I spend 50 kwai. I have a few things for me to pick, right? So I want to buy some good quality, right? Value, good quality, price in comparison, good value. So first of all, I think there's an issue here. How do I know it's a real eco-friendly product? Yeah. So many consumers are not very trusting, right? Because you say it's your product. You see, it's eco-friendly, So many people are doubtful. We are. How do I know? How do I know it's real? You know what I mean? So there's a lot of business products. They use this as excuse, of course, for business. So many consumers are very doubtful. Some of them, it's not because they don't support the eco-friendly, the eco-friendly product. It's just they just don't know if it's real, if it's true. Yeah. This is one issue. Another issue is they don't understand how your product make this environment friendly or something. Sorry, my screen just disappeared. Hold on.
No, it's okay. We can see you.
Okay. Oh, I can see. Okay. Anyway, so here it's a lot of issues. Chinese consumers, they're very smart, right? They always they think a lot before they spend their money, and so it's not something if you put a label, this product's eco-friendly, you should buy. They'll buy it. It's not that simple. I think there's a process of educating them. What does it mean, eco-friendly? What's your product? What's this made of? How did your product help it? So it's not a few steps here. So I don't see those products very popular in China right now yet, but I do see them in the market in Shanghai, but not in other cities yet. And also another thing, this type of product tend to be more expensive. Yes. When it's more expensive, the customer is going to think, give it another thought.
That is straight across the face of the planet. It doesn't matter what country you live in. The eco-friendly products are actually quite more expensive, and I think that's a shame, because I think it's difficult to have people make a change in their decisions if that product is much more expensive. If the product was cheaper, I think everybody would go for that. While questioning, they would still go for that first.
Right. So this is a complex issues here about this type of product. Yeah. I'm sure the product, the brands themselves too, I think they have a hard time promoting. They have a hard time to market it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like the fact is that everyone's trying to do a little bit, and they say that if everyone did a little bit of their part for the environment, that we could do a lot. The fact is, we don't have to change everything. But as long as we're aware and we're taking steps daily in order to make sure that our carbon footprint and our environmental impact is changed on a daily basis, even in one tiny little way, that will have a greater impact at the end of the day.
Right. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I agree.
Well,
So,
you know what, Sarah? I know that you're a busy lady, and I think you have some construction going on in the background there.
Yes, as I was chatting before we start the show, again, China has a dynamic economy, so much activities every day. The company shut down, company shut down, and then new company come. This is our next door. We have two offices on the same floor. New company move in. They totally destroy the old space. They totally rebuilding the whole space. Incredible. But our next door office has gone through like 8 companies during maybe 5, 6, 7 years. Amazing.
Wow.
So right now the economy. So much activity, just what's the word? Influx, and a lot of activity. So it's a very competitive economy in China. So it doesn't matter you're a small, medium, or large company, you are facing the same thing every day. Competition. So it's a very complex business environment. It's very, but it's exciting and dynamic.
Yes.
So much activities, just incredible.
Well, I think China is definitely the next up and everything that you see about China and everything that is happening there, it is moving so fast and changing so quickly. And it is a place of great investment at the moment. You see that, as we spoke about earlier, that for the first time ever in the history, that there are more, wealthy Chinese overall than that in the United States. The United States in the past used to be the number one. So China has surpassed the United States at this stage. So it's definitely one to keep an eye on. And I think you've hit the right ticket with heading off into your luxury marketplace with, not only the food, the wine, the yachting. Are you looking at doing, jets, private jets at some stage as well?
Yes, actually, you pointed out. Yeah, as of we're speaking now, we're looking for private jet company for partner for cross promotions. Yeah, we are thinking of doing, because our connoisseur wine show is so popular. We are trying to do one episode about drinking wine in a private jet. So because you are high in the air, so the wine actually tastes different. So this is one of the episodes we're thinking to do for our connoisseur wine show, and then we are looking talking to different private jet company, and also for cross promotion opportunities with our yacht show, Yacht Life. So definitely, of course, yeah. So
I'm just saying, if you ever need a co-host, it might be rough for me, but I would be willing to offer my services.
That's wonderful. As long as you're willing to travel to Shanghai, or
I am
maybe
more than willing to travel anywhere in the world for good wine, good food, and a private jet.
Wow, Ria, sounds wonderful. I'll bear that on my mind.
Yeah, for sure, do please. Everyone, I always tell people everyone needs a Canadian in their corner, so I'm there for you if you need me.
Yes, and you're so professional, so know so much in your industry. Sounds great. Yeah, you would be a great host.
Wonderful. Well, thank you again, Sarah, and I look forward to. We're actually going to be doing a series here on Yachting International Radio, following Yacht Life, Love the Ocean. We're going to be talking about their different shows. We're going to be talking to some of the people that they have had guests on their show. As well as Rick, the producer. So we're really excited about this new show that you've got coming up. Is there somewhere they can go? Is there a website that people can go to see your different series, to see your history?
Okay, so this I have two types of platforms. One is the social media, right? Because we're in China, the social media platform are different from outside China. Our most popular social media platform is Weibo and WeChat. So Weibo is very big, like mass communication. I just got fans, I put out there and just read, they watch whatever. WeChat is more one-on-one. It's more kind of communication. WeChat is huge in China. Almost everybody has one WeChat, and So these are the two most powerful and popular social media. I will promote our show Weibo, WeChat, and there's some other smaller one, and then new one. For example, Toutiao, like today's Hetman, and also have Oasis. Luzhou is a new social media platform by Hainan Weibo, and then some other smaller platforms. Of course, LinkedIn. LinkedIn. I'm on LinkedIn every day and very active on LinkedIn. And Facebook. It's difficult to go to Facebook from China, but I go there maybe once a week. Whatever. So I'll promote our show. So these are our social media platforms. And also we have our video platform. Again, inside China, the platforms are very different from outside China. We don't have access to YouTube, and we have Youku, iQIYI, Sohu, Tudou, and some other many smaller cell phone apps. So but for this show, because it's so international, we will try to put on YouTube. And also our partner, I mentioned a few partner and sponsors, and then they will put on their channel too. But I'll try to put on YouTube, so which makes it easier for audience outside China, international viewers to watch it. And some of the Chinese video sites might be available outside China, so I'll try when we promote it. I'll try to put the different video links on my social media, on LinkedIn or Facebook.
Yeah, well, actually, I have to say I was quite surprised because I'm able to track the countries that listen to my radio platform, and my radio platform is listened to in China. So I thought that's kind of strange because the internet is fairly limited there in what you're allowed to access. But you know what? Where there's a will, there's a way, right?
Right. Yes. And also nowadays also it's kind of like small world, right? Like the whole world is connected, and yachting, as you mentioned before, yachting community is small.
Yes.
And so through social media, I'm sure people will be able to access from their own way, from all over the world. So
Excellent. Well, Sarah, you know what? I really thank you for taking the time today, all the way from China. That's really exciting. It's the first interview that I've done from China. So for me, that's very exciting. For the audience out there that is watching or listening, Yacht Life, Love the Ocean, introducing luxury yachting culture and ocean preservation to China. Please do tune in. As she mentioned, Sarah mentioned, it's going to be put up on different social media platforms, and hopefully we'll be able to see that when it does launch in mid-November. Sarah, thank you so very much for your time. I really appreciate it. We look forward to seeing you on the big screen sometime soon.
Thank you, Ria. I really enjoyed the conversation, and then I'm very happy to be here, and I'm so glad that you are spreading the words about the first lifestyle show about yachting culture in China to all over the world, to your audience. And thank you very much. I had a good time.
Thank you. This has been Ria for Yachting International Radio. Tune in right here.